Thank you for tuning in to the Teacher Dudes. Whether you're listening as a podcast or joining us live on YouTube, Facebook, or Twitter, this is a podcast created by teachers for teachers that's full of some random thoughts, ed tech, tips, and tricks, and a general focus on education today. Sit back, relax, and enjoy as your hosts Tyler Keefe and Jeff Anderson take it away. Welcome, everybody. It is Friday, March 12th, and I can't believe I am saying that it is Friday, March 12th already. This is the Teacher Dudes podcast, episode 13, titled Raiders of the Lost Ark, Finding the Treasure Inside the Chaos, and we will get to that here in a second. But really quickly, my name is Tyler Keefe. I am a technology integration coach here in Nampa, Idaho. You can find me on Twitter at Keefe67. And my partner in crime, as always, well, mostly always, unlike last week, is Jeff Anderson. Jeff, take a second and tell us how you're doing and who you really are deep down in your soul.
Oh, I don't know if I want to go there. No, my name's Jeff Anderson. I am a PE and health teacher. I was a classroom teacher, and a few years ago I took on PE and health. And it is daylight savings time this weekend, which should be a holiday, so I am doing fantastic.
Awesome. No, it's glad to have you back. You know, last week we kind of did a quick little recording with Zane. It was some fun with him doing his Rubik's Cube stuff. Now, Jeff, have you ever been able to solve a Rubik's Cube?
Yes, I have. Back when they came out, I got one and I spent some time on it. And I wasn't as quick as Zane, but it took me probably 5 to 6 minutes to be able to do it. So
5 to 6 minutes, but you got it done.
I did. Yeah.
I have no clue how to do it. And, you know, Zane has been a fantastic coach for some people. I think his recent YouTube video has over 500 views now of teaching people how to solve a Rubik's Cube.
Okay.
That's insane. 500 views.
So you just told me I'm not going to do this typing thing because it's way far away from me. You just told me to switch my microphone, but all I get is MacBook Air microphone built in. And default, yes. And default. That's the only two I get. So there you
go. So here's where we ask the question: is your mic plugged in?
Yeah. Oh, wait. Okay. This thing that you got me does not stay in.
So lesson number 495 of remote learning, distance learning, is we make sure everything is plugged.
It was plugged in. It was plugged in. It doesn't stay in.
Yeah, it's weird. Who knows? Who knows? But anyway, we have
Is that better? Is that better?
A little bit. Did you switch it into StreamYard?
Did I do what?
Did you switch your mic in StreamYard?
Probably not. Aha.
Here we go.
Third mic showing up.
Oh, there we go. Much better. Yes.
Yeah. Get the radio voice going now.
Get that radio voice going. Here we go, folks. We got that going on, and we will edit that out in the actual. No, we won't edit it out.
No, don't edit that out. Stuff. That's real life.
That is real life. And speaking of real life, we have a guest tonight, and he is the one and only Zane Anderson Keefe. Now, Zane, he's beatboxing or something over there as his AirPod falls out. So we're just having mic issues all over. But Zane, how are you? Are you good?
Yeah.
Oh, there we go. So, Zane, you're coming to us live from the room on the other side again, and it is Friday. Are you glad it's Friday?
Yes.
Yes.
Zane, are you still going to charge me $20 for your autograph?
Huh?
Are you still going to charge?
Yeah.
Your dad said that if I wanted to get your autograph, since you're famous now, that I got to pay
Yeah.
$20.
Yep.
Is that still the thing?
Yep.
Now, or do you think that should go up because Jeff's a Duck fan?
No, you said that was because I'm a Duck fan. That was the whole reason why it was $20.
But should it go up
Oh,
because
yeah.
he's still a Duck fan?
That sounds more normal.
So how about $30?
Yeah. Let's go 50.
50? Whoa. Zane just took it to the next level of $50.
Tyler, you got a prima donna there. All right.
Hey,
that's all I got to say.
You know, it happens. So there we go. We got $50 for Jeff right there. $50.
$50 for an autograph.
$50 for an autograph.
Zane, I want you to be able to break that down and tell me how much that is per letter. There's a math problem for you.
Wait, what do you?
If I'm paying $50,
dang it.
then you got to tell me how much for each letter it is. If it's $50, there you go.
I need paper.
Well, Zane, we'll have you figure that out after we do our game time with Zane. How does that sound?
Okay, sure.
All right, so here we go. We're gonna have our game time with Zane. Now, Zane came up with some really good questions for this week, and one of them I kind of helped him with. But game time with Zane is one of our favorite segments where Zane gets to ask us some fun questions. And here is question 1. So you gonna be ready to read it for us, Zane?
Yeah.
All right, here's question number 1.
Would you rather have a ton of gold or a pound of diamonds?
Ooh, a ton of gold or a pound of diamonds. Who do you want to hear from first, Zane?
Jeff.
Me, huh? All right.
Yeah.
Well, I don't know how much is the price of gold, Keith? How much is that now? You know?
I don't know.
I mean, I can sell it, right? I'm assuming I can just sell it when I get it, right?
Well, yeah, I would think so. It was Zane's question. So can he sell it the second he gets it?
He can sell it 1 week after he gets it.
Okay,
like
so
golden,
1 week after.
I might even be able to afford the autograph if I sell it, you know? So, yeah, I will take the wow. Which is worth more? I'm going to say it's the pound of diamonds. I'll go with that. Pound of diamonds. I think that's worth more.
And for me, you know, I'm gonna go ahead and say a ton of gold, just because everything is going digital in the cryptocurrency right now.
Yeah.
That the physical gold, although the pound of diamonds is tempting, but I'm gonna take the physical gold. What about you, Zane?
I've got to think here. Which would be worth more?
Uh-huh.
Because I could get a lot of money for diamonds, but really, a pound of diamonds would be about the exact same amount as a ton of gold. So I'm just gonna go ton of gold.
Ooh, and Zane, we have another guest here. This is from one Susan Keefe. You might refer to her as Meemaw.
Huh?
But Meemaw or Papa, I'm not sure because it's my parents, who has a picture of you chasing a goose as their picture.
Oh,
but,
that's nice.
Yes, but they are saying diamonds.
Diamonds. Hey, Zane, though. Zane, I got a question for you. This whole gold thing. I want to know which weighs more, a pound of feathers or a pound of gold?
Ooh.
I feel like this is a trick question, and you're going to say, like, pound of feathers.
So which weighs more, a pound of feathers or
a trick question?
A pound of feathers or a pound of gold? Which weighs more?
Weighs more.
Huh?
Yeah.
Oh, which weighs more would be gold.
Although I'm going to say they weigh the same because one's a pound of feathers, the other is a pound of gold. Therefore, they are both a pound.
Dang it. Trick
Gotcha,
question.
Zane.
I told you it was a trick question.
You're right.
I
You did.
told
You
it
recognize
was a
that.
trick question.
It's true. It's true. Zane, you ready for question number 2?
Yes.
All right, here you go. Read it for us.
Would you rather never watch TV again or never do anything on your smartphone again?
Ooh.
And this time I
Who's
want
first?
Dad to go first.
All right, so for this one, would I rather never watch TV again or never do anything on my phone? Well, that one's easy because I will never watch TV again because I can do everything I need or even watch TV shows on
TV?
my
You're not allowed
phone.
to watch TV.
Well, I'm not allowed to watch a television. So therefore, this is my phone and not a television. So boom, goes the dynamite.
You left out the most important part of your phone.
What's that?
Your son's blood sugar.
Oh, well, good thing your blood sugar is going good here. But I'm saying that I will never watch TV because I will use my phone.
You're not allowed to watch TV.
Oh, you're
TV
crazy. Jeff, what are your quick
TV
thoughts on
and
this
phone,
one?
same thing.
So yeah, Zane, I was wondering that too. Can I watch YouTube on my phone? Can I watch Disney Plus on my phone? Can I do that? Because it's not a
You are
TV.
Okay. Let me have a restriction.
Okay.
On YouTube, we are only allowed to watch Zane's Game More. And on Disney Plus, you are only allowed to watch Avengers Endgame.
So let me get this thing pulled down here a little bit.
Only Marvel
All right.
movies on Disney Plus.
So I probably would be oh my goodness. I don't know. That's a tough one because I can still watch stuff on the phone. So I'm going to say I won't watch TV. But Zane, when I was a kid, and I have a sister who's 2 years younger than me. When my sister who's 2 years younger than me, when she would get in trouble, she'd get grounded from her phone because she didn't care about the TV. And when I got in trouble, I'd get grounded from the TV because I didn't care about the phone.
But have the turntables.
The phone back then was just a phone.
It's true. Now today it's everything.
Yeah, everything. In like 2030, it'll probably be it won't even be a phone. It'll be like this thing on air that you just boop, boop, dip, dip, like that.
I like that.
That's probably what it'll be in the future.
I like that.
Iron Man.
Like an Iron Man, yes. Okay, Zane, here is question number 3.
Would you rather live in a tiny house or never go outside again?
Who do you want to answer first, Zane?
Dad again.
All right, well, this one's easy. I would rather live in a tiny house because I actually really enjoy and am very intrigued by a lot of the tiny house designs. And I kind of would like to go outside again. So tiny house it is. Jeff?
Yep, yeah. I'll do a tiny house as well.
You wouldn't be able to go to the Apple Store.
It's true.
I'll do a tiny house as well because with a tiny house, I lived in a studio apartment that was like 400 square feet. I loved it. I thought it was fantastic. So, yeah, tiny house. I want to go outside.
I'm with you there, Zane. Are you in agreement with the two of us?
Yeah, I guess so. But just so you know, this fourth question, I have no idea what it is.
It's true because I sent it to him because Zane thought or was talking about something earlier. And so here we go. And so I will say it. It is, what is the acceptable time frame to talk about a new episode or movie, i.e. spoilers? So Zane, what is the acceptable time frame to talk about a new movie or episode because of spoilers?
Yeah, I remember where you got this when, like, I was watching WandaVision and you were passing by. And I was like, nope, no watching.
It's true that
Spoilers.
sparked the idea. So don't give up the what it was about, just in case. So Zane, what do you think? What is the acceptable time frame? Is it a day, a week, a month, or a year?
I would have to say, like, when the show, like, when the person actually watches the show. Or, like,
Okay.
how about this? Never.
Never. Okay. So Zane says never. Jeff, what do you think?
I say after it comes out on DVD.
Okay. Now, what's the DVD?
What's a DVD?
Yeah, we're almost at that point now.
Digital video disc.
Ooh. So after it comes out on DVD, and for me,
nobody uses DVDs anymore.
it's true. It's true.
Blu-ray.
Yeah, it's debatable
Yeah,
too.
true. Redbox.
I mean, yeah, Redbox, but everything is streaming now.
Not according to the shelves in my family room. It's not.
Well, you know, we're not all old school or cool school.
Yeah.
But for me, I'm gonna say if it's on a streaming service, like if it comes out on Friday, that you need to give it a good give 2 days. So if it comes out on Friday, you're not to talk about it until Sunday. But after that, it's fair game.
How long can let me ask a question kind of like it. How long can you talk about do you have to wait before you can talk about a football game that went on?
Ooh, well, see, that one's tough. Football. Yeah, Zane doesn't watch football. But Jeff, I will hold on to that question, and I'll give you my answer here in a second so Zane can get going.
All right.
Zane, thank you for joining us. Did you have fun?
Yeah. I thought you said that I could do my math.
Do your math. Well, no, you can go do your math and then come back later.
Yeah, but I'll tell you what, here's what scared me, Zane, is that I gave you that math problem. I gave Zane that math problem, and Zane was like, "Where's my paper? I'm gonna go right now. Let's go." That's scary, right there.
Yes, he is he is crazy like that. But Zane, thank you, as you're not on the screen anymore because you're looking for the AirPod that fell out of your ear. But you know he is only 7, so forgive him. But Zane, we will talk to you next time.
Ears.
Or big ears. I don't know. Depends on how you look at it.
Oh. It's probably big ears because, like, what? How would they fit if what? Complications.
I don't know. It's one of the mysteries of the universe, I guess.
Dog.
And now he's back to cat dog. But all right, Zane, we'll talk to you later. And adios, Mr. Zane. But Jeff, you know, going back to your question there about the football game, man, that is tough because part of me is like, you know what, it's live, so you know, it is what it is, especially now because we get the scores on our phones. If this was a few years ago and let's say the game was on Sunday morning and you're at church and you recorded it and then you're watching it, the playback, then I would say you must have like a 3-hour window to give the people a chance to watch and catch up.
And I've experienced that too with WWE wrestling, where pay-per-views have happened and I didn't get to watch it, and suddenly I'm like, no, I don't want to know who won, you know, that sort of thing.
Oh, you know, speaking of WWE, is Mankind still wrestling?
Not really. He makes cameos once in a while. As usually Mankind doesn't show up. Usually it's just Mick Foley. You know, there's 3 personalities to Mick Foley.
Yeah, I had no clue.
The Mankind, Dude Love, and Cactus Jack.
Huh.
They're all the same guy. They all come out in different costumes and different personas and things like that. So
now, how frequently do you watch WWE?
I've actually started again. My cousin watches it, and he's been staying here with me, and so I've actually gotten to where I've started watching it again, and I don't know a lot of the players in it right now, so I got to get back used to it.
And so how old are you guys?
Well, my cousin is your age,
Mm-hmm.
and I'm a few years older than you, just a couple.
And do you guys have a basement?
A basement?
Yeah.
No.
Oh,
No
so
basement.
you're not living in the basement watching wrestling?
No,
Okay.
I'm not living in the basement watching wrestling.
So we're okay. We're a little bit up there, but still odd. But that's okay.
Wait a minute. Are you calling me a nerd? A wrestling nerd?
I did not say that. You said it, not me.
I
mean, it's all
if you've ever seen Revenge of the Nerds, there's more of us than there are of you.
Well, that's true, but that's why I'm a hybrid.
Oh, you're a hybrid.
Yes.
You're a geek nerd.
I'm a geeky nerd, but also into the sports and things.
Into the sports and things.
Yes. Yeah. Yes. But it's not really a sport if it needs a judge, and you're not really competing against anybody but yourself, i.e.,
a judge. Doesn't need a judge.
Well, this like gymnastics. Would you consider that a sport?
Yes.
How about rhythmic dancing?
Sure. Yes.
Chess.
No.
Cheerleading.
Yes.
Underwater basket weaving.
Well, I took it back no, I didn't take it back in college. So here's the deal. It may not be considered a sport, but they are athletes, and the abuse that their bodies take because of the athletic things they're trying to pull off, they take bigger hits than a lot of football players do. So,
no, I'm not debating that they're not athletes. I think they are fantastic specimens of the human race, if we're allowed to say that anymore.
Sports entertainment.
Yes,
that's
sports entertainment. There we go.
Sports entertainment.
Yes, I would accept that, because it is entertainment, because it is it can be fun to watch. I won't argue that. But it's scripted, so it's a little bit iffy on the scale. But I see what you're saying.
Some people would say the NFL is scripted too, so there you go.
Well, they would, but they're crazy conspiracy theorists of the NFL. But we won't get into that, because we've promised that we won't get into too many of the crazy politics stuff going on.
We'll just agree that, well, no, I don't know if I can agree that we both don't like Tom Brady, because he's kind of growing on me now, so a little bit.
Dude, okay.
I'm
next
serious.
Subject.
I'm serious.
You just completely deflated what I was going to talk about. So,
all right.
Man, I can't even recover from that. Well, this has been fun. We will talk to you next week. And yeah. Oh, I'm just joking. Just joking. But yeah, so Jeff, upcoming here in a couple weeks, it's something that you and I have talked a very little bit about, but it is Spring Q, which is a conference that is normally hosted down in Palm Springs, California, not to be confused with the Palm Springs of Washington, aka Yakima. But it is an education conference, and during this conference, they are going to be having a Meet the Podcasters session. And if you look down in the bottom right-hand corner of the screen, you will see a familiar face. And I will be on this panel as well. So that's going to be fun.
Where's my picture?
Well, it's not there, because I don't think you're a member of Q, are you?
I have a queue. I've got like 3 or 4 queues over there.
Well, good thing about it is because you can become a Q member for free 99.
For free 99?
Free 99. It is completely free to become a Q member. So we will have to get you signed up for that. It's an awesome group of educators that are out there. And on here, just really quickly, you'll see in the top, we have Joe Marquez there. He's the one with the explodingness in the background. We had him on a little bit ago. And then in the bottom left, they have the Beer EDU podcast, which is hosted by Kyle Anderson, not to be confused with Jeff Anderson, and Ben Dixon. And they kind of helped us figure where we want to go with things. And then in the top middle, we have the Teacher Cast with Jeff Bradbury, and all three of those people, Joe's been on our show, and then I have been on the Beer EDU podcast along with the Teacher Cast podcast. So it's going to be fun to connect with those guys again. So once we get the information for that, I will get that to you, Jeff.
All right.
So it'll be fun. And then, the other thing that I wanted to mention is, we talked about being old school and new school. So I'm going to show a picture of my setup. This was a couple nights ago, but basically, and don't mind the mess on my desk, but basically here is my setup for recording and whatnot. So I have a few screens there, a couple of computers, my camera, and microphone. And this was before I got this new microphone. And here is your setup right here. So can you walk us through this one?
This is a round dining room table with a TV tray sitting on top of it and my brand new MacBook, nice, or whatever you call it. I don't know what it's called, laptop. I don't know what that thing is. And is it a MacBook? Is that right?
Yes, MacBook Air.
Air, MacBook Air. Okay. And then my my microphone right there. It looks like you got my papers for my I got my papers in there too for my patio cover that I'm going to start building here any time soon.
Yes, so. And the point I wanted to make there is, we both have completely different setups, but when you're looking at the screen here that we are on, and if you're listening again, thank you so much for tuning in. If you're listening, it doesn't really make that much of a difference. And my friend Doug here, he's saying, great job, fellas. So Doug down in Florida, thank you so much. Thanks for tuning in. Really appreciate it. He was one of those that helped me get inspired to start our podcast.
Oh, all right.
And Doug is, I believe, part of CDW. And he was actually, I was listening to a podcast earlier today with a couple people from the Staff Room podcast, which is a different one. Jeff, I'll send you the link to this, but it was really good to listen to and hear how some other teachers got started podcasting. And it was kind of like you and I, where, I'd been listening to podcasts for quite a while. And then it's like, you and I just talk and it's like, hey, dude, let's just jump on and record it. And why not?
So it's kind of like it's like how one person just keeps hounding the other person until the other person just can't take it anymore and says, fine, I'll do it. Okay. Yeah. All right. Got it.
And the nice thing about it is you've been having some fun with it too.
I have been having some fun. So yeah. I appreciate the hounding.
Yes. Well, it's what I do best. And Doug jumped in, and here's the YouTube page. It is Focus on K-12, part of the CDW. And I believe, and Doug, correct me if I'm wrong here, but it's part of the EdTech magazine. As I'm looking it up right now, but I'm pretty sure it's part of the EdTech magazine. And I had been not listening, but I've been reading it. Yep, it is EdTech magazine. There we go. I'd been reading that for quite a while, and then I made the connection really quickly. I'm like, oh wait, this is the same dude. So it was kind of a fun little mashup there. And with that, I'm going to transition here to another thing. Jeff, have you used Flipgrid before?
Oh, yeah.
I believe you have.
Yep.
So Flipgrid, they have something going on. It's called Flipgrid Madness. And what Flipgrid Madness is is they asked for teachers to submit a quick recording of some awesome Flipgrid hacks. Okay.
Oh,
And
okay.
and with that, and I'm going to share the screen here. There we go. They asked for this, and they're allowing people to vote on the top 8. Okay. And so on here is the 8 that made the top 8. Now on this one, there are 3 people here that I'm connected with, and 2 of them, Jeff, you have actually talked with as well. And
Okay.
I did not realize this until about 15 minutes before we jumped on, that the Jim W in the top right corner was actually Jim Windish, who we had with the Idaho Ed Chat a couple weeks ago. Him and his wife.
Oh, the tuba player.
The tuba players, yeah.
Yeah.
And so he has a cool hack on there. And then in the bottom was Joe Marquez again, showing his grid masks hack that he has. So 2 of the 8 that have made the top 8 for Flipgrid. So that's kind of cool.
Yeah. Yeah.
And then the other one that I'm connected with is the Randall Sampson. So when I was voting on this, I'm going to be honest, I voted for Joe because I didn't look at the other ones. And then I started to look deeper, and I was like, oh, whoops. Can I vote again? But nope, because it says only 1 per email address. But it's all right. So Jeff, that address is here. I'll send it to you so that you can vote for any of the 8 or any of the either of the 2 that you know personally.
Well, I just want to watch these because I want to see what some of these tricks are.
Yeah, they're actually really, really good hacks that are on here. So I'll send that to you after this. But if you are listening or watching, it's on the screen. But if you are listening, it is flipgrid.com/flipgridmadness. So take a look there. And then as we were talking, Doug jumped on and gave us a quick little thing that he is part of the Sons of, so the EdTech magazine is sort of EdTech, and the podcasts operate quasi-independently, but are both owned by CDW, which is a EdTech technology company that's out there. So wanted to share that out. But Jeff, man, we're just blasting through here. We have 2 more topics before we can get to your topic, because you were the one to suggest the title this week. Yep. So are we good to blast through these last 2 things?
All right.
So the first one is we do have breaking news. This just came across Twitter, is that Apple is discontinuing the HomePod to focus on the HomePod Mini. Now, that might not mean much to you or others out there, but for me, the HomePod is basically a nice speaker that's about this big. The sound is fantastic. Like Jeff, now that I am fully vaccinated, I have no issues coming over to your house, and I will have to bring it out there so you can hear the sound of this thing.
For a HomePod? Never heard of a HomePod. Don't know what that is. We'll have to compare it to my Bose.
Well,
yeah,
but it's basically a portable speaker. And the HomePod Mini is the smaller version of it. So they're going to focus on that, which is okay because it's the cheaper version too. And then the last thing, because you knew I was going to bring this up, is the FitEDU, the hashtag FitEDU stuff. And today, this morning can you guess what day it was for me today?
Yes, I can, because I remember seeing you post you did 70 on 70. I'm trying to remember if that was 2 days ago. I'm going to say today is number 72.
Close, 71.
Dang. All right.
Yes, close, very close. So today was day 71 in a row. I actually go to see my doctor on Monday, so I'll be able to give an update if I choose to see how much I currently weigh at that point to see where I'm at. But I don't know yet if I want to know. I know I've lost, my wife keeps telling me that my pants are looking kind of baggy.
Have you done so here's honestly, I love when I start, and I've just got signed up for something through my school district that's going to start me hopefully getting back to this getting healthy weight loss thing. But I don't measure by a scale.
Mm-hmm.
I go to the store. I find myself a pair of pants that I just can't quite button. They're just not quite there. And that's my measuring tool right there. That's what I measure by. Just that. And I just every week put them on, see how close I am, till finally like, hey, they fit. And then and then after that, then you go get a new pair of pants that just won't quite fit and do the same thing again. I think that's way better than a scale.
Oh, I agree. And, I think that's the eye test and the fit test is probably more, I don't know, gratifying maybe.
It's inspiring.
The right word.
Yeah, inspiring. It's inspiring.
Yeah. Uh-huh. Yeah. I could see that being the case. And so, we'll see. I'm having good success now as it is, and we're gonna keep it going.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm looking forward to getting mine started again.
Hey, baby steps here and there, right?
Well, yeah. This thing that I'm doing is meant to be a complete. It's not anything more than what I want my life to be like for the next however many years, and so a lifestyle change, I guess you'd say. That's kind of cliche, but that sort of thing.
But it's true.
It is. I don't want to diet. I don't want something that I'm gonna do for 6 months and then, okay, now what? Now I'm kind of resorting back to the way things were, which is not going to be good. So
right. I'm with you there completely. And something's going on with my camera because like half of it's working or not. I don't know. I don't care. As long as you can hear me, that's all that matters. Is it kind of funky on your end where it's like half there, half not?
It is. You've got a right shoulder that's very stationary.
Well, and I could just do this and
there we go. That's a
have some fun there.
There are some people who may appreciate that one right there.
Well, we'll just make sure my wife doesn't see it.
I'm not saying that you have a face for radio or anything, but
Well, it's true. It's true. But now that we got all that stuff aside and we're kind of deep into this, which it's all fun stuff, but I asked you for an idea for the podcast, and you came up with this title of Raiders of the Lost Ark and finding the treasure inside the chaos. So what kind of explain to me your thinking and your rationale, your inspiration behind this title here.
Well, I think for me, I get kind of tired of hearing about how bad this last year has been and how challenging it's been and all the negative part of it. And I tend to want to more look into the positive side of it and what we've been able to pull out of it, what it's kind of inspired us to start doing that's going to hopefully continue to inspire us even after this whole situation is beyond us. So finding that treasure that's inside all this chaos that occurred, and maybe focusing more on the treasure of it, and helping us to focus less on the negative aspects that we've had to endure, that might be a better way to look at it. So finding the positive within it, finding the treasure within it. And then I thought, Raiders of the Lost Ark, that works. So there you go.
No, that's good. And, I'm going to switch to this because my camera completely just died. I'm going to plug it back in. And, when you mention chaos and mention everything that's going on, I don't even know the right word. It's one of those things where we'd be kind of remiss if we didn't mention, the 1 year COVID-versary of everything. And I don't want to get too deep into it because there's a lot of mixed feelings into, that come with it. But the chaos for us, I know in my school, started a year ago right now. And so it's like, oh, here we go. This is getting real, kind of a thing. So when you think of finding the treasure inside the chaos, what have you found?
I think that there's been a lot of, for me, technology has been a little bit, but being in PE, and we were outside because the weather allowed us to be outside, but then eventually it gets to be too cold and we had to move into the gym. And when we move into the gym, we've got to try and keep our distance from each other, and maintain that distance throughout the PE time, which is a challenge. But it started making me look for other opportunities, for PE activities. And I think I started to discover a lot of things that I may not have discovered if I didn't have to be held to the expectation of keeping students 6 feet distance from each other. So that's one of the places where I was able to find some things, and I found some real fun activities. In fact, next week I'm looking forward to we've done this a little bit before, playing a game called table ball, which is basically ping pong, except for you have a 6-foot folding table, you have some playground balls, and they're using their hands. So kind of take, I don't know, Foursquare and ping pong and combine it into this thing called table ball.
Table ball, huh?
Yeah.
I have not heard of this table ball.
Well, I typed it in on YouTube just to see what other people had came up with, and I only found 2, I think, videos of anybody who was playing this thing called table ball. But just imagine you got a playground ball, you got to underhand hit the ball. It's got to land on the table. It doesn't have to bounce once on the table and bounce off. It just has to land on the table and then roll across the table or whatever the case may be. And then the person on the other side lets it hit the floor, and then they underhand hit it. It's got to land on the table. And when we were doing it last year, I think it was, we start out going end to end lengthwise, and halfway through students' games, they would end up being sideways because it doesn't matter. In fact, one set of students, 2 boys, ended up switching to the complete opposite sides of the table before the game was finally over, before that particular point was finally over.
Huh.
So it just seemed like a fun game, and it also helps to keep students distant because they're 6 foot away at least because of the 6-foot table. So
no, that's sounds like fun.
Yeah, they were having a blast last year when we did it. And even up to even kindergarten or first grade was able to do it. First grade, I kind of allowed to have a little more control of the ball where they could grab it and throw it back onto the table. But the older they get, it's just you got to hit it. Underhand hit it.
Yeah. That reminds me of a game in college that we would play, using a 6-foot table, some red Solo cups, and a ping pong ball.
Yeah.
But most of those days, are long gone. And no, I'll be honest, I'd still enjoy playing it again. But there was a meme going around that says if you played beer pong, and it showed a cup of or a picture of the cup, and it showed the beer in there with the ping pong ball, and meaning you still drink it straight out of the cup. Yeah. Then you're immune to pretty much any disease out there. So we might be okay.
So I last week we did something. I followed what what Dude Perfect is, right?
No, explain.
You've never seen Dude Perfect?
Nope, never heard of this Dude Perfect dude.
Dude Perfect are a bunch of guys who do like impossible challenges with basketballs, footballs, tennis balls. Just they try and hit targets. They try and like one of them, the one of the guys was standing on the top of a stadium, and he took a frisbee and he threw it off the top of the stadium. And then there were two guys in a car in a SUV. One guy was standing outside the sunroof, and the car had to try and roll up, and the guy had to catch the frisbee as it came down.
Okay. I've seen challenges or things like this, but I've never known it to be called Dude Perfect.
Oh yeah, they do. Not only do they fun stuff that they do like that, but they even have Dude Perfect at home, where they've got all these fun things that, I mean, it'll take them 20, 30, 40, 50 tries before they nail it. But as soon as they nail it, they've got the camera recording. So now they've got that recorded. Then they move on to the next thing.
So basically, they're recording the whole time of them trying and failing,
Right.
trying and failing.
Right.
And
Right.
then, once they get it, they have it on film, and they're like, "Oh, we did it!" And
Yeah.
they make you think they got it right the first time.
No, they don't make you think they got it right the first time. I mean, they don't disclose it all the time. It took us, 70 tries or whatever. But when you take a football, you stand it on a tee, you're about, I don't know, 100 feet or so away from a basketball hoop, and you take a baseball bat and you hit the football off the tee, and it makes it in the basketball hoop. That's not going to be usually a one and done sort of thing, That's
Right.
going to be. So we did some Dude Perfect challenges at my school last week, and one of them was taking red Solo cups and taping them to the edge of a table, and then they had to roll the ping pong balls and try and get it to land in one of the cups for one of their
Gotcha.
one of their challenges. And then kids were recording with the iPads to catch it, and the counselor and I are going to put together this big old video of all the kids when they actually hit the challenge. And it was so fun to watch them, because I don't know what was more fun, to watch when they were successful or to watch when they barely missed and they were just like, oh,
And they're disappointed, and you ruin their day.
No, they were just like, when you just missed something, you're like, man, that was so close, that sort of thing.
Yeah.
That
sounds like a lot of fun.
They had a blast with it. It was so much fun that my principal came to me in the middle of the week and said, for our celebration meeting that we have on Friday mornings, she wanted us all to meet in the gym, and all of us to do these, to just be able to do these challenges that these kids were going back to class. The one teacher told me that her kids talked for nearly an hour about about PE and about the Dude Perfect challenges after they got back to class. So yeah, it was a good one.
No, that's cool. I think we should do a teacher Dude Perfect challenge. What do you think?
I would love to set up a few challenges. I'm looking around the house right now trying to figure out what to do.
So then your challenge, Jeff, is to come up with a teacher Dude Perfect challenge.
All right.
So come up with a few different things, and I think that sounds awesome to begin with, because that would be fun. But it'd be cool to put them out to the Twitter sphere, the Facebook land, the social media land, all that fun stuff, and see if we can get some people to participate with us.
Yeah, it would be fun.
No, that's good. And as I'm thinking about it, because you mentioned how the kids are doing stuff and half-heartedly joking about them failing, but in all honesty, without failing, you're not going to learn, and you're not going to persevere without failing. And as much as I can't stand, or how this term has been used and used and used and overused and then used some more, the term of grit, comes in, but it's true. I had a student just tell me yesterday, after we were in our jump rope club, she had tried to do some backward speed jumping,
and we were timing everybody and we were counting their steps and that sort of thing. And she wasn't as fast as she was expecting to be. And so she typed to me, she said, "I failed miserably." And I said, "You did not fail miserably. You persevered." And then I put the saying, failure is not falling down. Failure is when you don't get back up.
Yeah.
I
exactly.
know that she wasn't as fast as she wanted to be. I know that she could speed up and she could get faster and faster, but I also know that she is a type of kid who will not quit. She will keep going and keep going and keep going, and she will get faster and faster and faster.
No, and that's good. And you know, one thing you mentioned there is that she typed to you.
Yeah.
What was she using Teams to send you that message?
Yeah, on Teams. Yeah.
Now, did she send you that message when she was in a different class, or was she in the gym with you?
No. It was the jump rope club is all on Teams.
Okay.
So she
school?
she was just at home, part of we just have a weekly club and we just meet and talk and talk about different challenges and just different things, jump roping and stuff. And so this time we were timing everybody, giving everybody a chance to do a 1-minute timing and get used to counting jumper steps.
Gotcha.
And so she wanted to do a backwards jump, which is way more challenging than a frontwards jump, but she's kind of committed herself to get better at backwards jumping. So that's what she was doing.
Now, you know, with that, so you're essentially, and let me see if I'm getting this right here. You're doing a virtual jump rope club outside of school hours, and these kids are volunteering, they're signing up on their own accord and challenging, pushing themselves, and then reaching out to you.
Yes. Along with cheering each other on and building each other up. You should hear them when they're jumping. They're getting on their microphones saying, "Good job. Come on, you can do it. Go faster, go faster." I mean, they're just, it's really cool to see.
Yeah. No, it's cool because they're doing that all on their own accord.
Yeah.
And you know, they're choosing this, but then also they're utilizing the technology themselves to do it.
Yeah. Yeah, they're doing challenges. I'll put out challenges on Flipgrid to do a certain jump rope skill to demonstrate it, and they'll get on there and they'll demonstrate certain jump rope skills. We've got students who have started to do PowerPoints, and they're doing PowerPoints to teach things like speed jumping or to teach a specific jump rope skill or something like that. So it's led into PowerPoints. We needed more jump ropes. We were out of jump ropes and we needed speed jump ropes. And so the students, I told the students, I said, let's do this. Let's all write our own letter. All the students write your own letter to the principal. And let's make it a letter where we're requesting that the principal spend some of the school's money on our jump rope club to invest in speed jump ropes, regular jump ropes, and these clickers that count speed jumping steps. And there were probably between 10 and 15 students who turned in well-written letters. And I know they were well-written because we actually had a day after school that was a special day off of the normal jump rope meeting days where the students met with myself and another teacher online on Teams again, and we walked them through how to write a well-written letter asking somebody to do something like donate, like buy something for us or something like that.
But you're doing this outside of school hours.
Completely outside of school hours, yeah.
Why?
Because it's good for them. They need it.
I know, but why?
Why what?
Why outside of school hours? I mean, your contract says 8 to 4, so why are you doing that outside of that?
Because it's good for the students. That's the whole reason why we teach. It's good for the students.
Oh, good for no.
It's not good for the students?
No, I'm joking, dude.
Okay.
I'm going because we all know those teachers that do teach 8 to 4, and you know what? It's 8 to 4, and at 4:01, it's like off the movie Hangover, where the kid or the teacher's leaving, and he's like, "Nope, I don't know you, don't know you, see ya." But it's huge because if you guys are doing that much outside of school hours, and I know your school and I know the clientele that's at your school, and very similar to the clientele at my school, that's huge. They are there at that point.
When I was in school years ago, grade school, I was on a soccer team, a basketball team, and a baseball team, and we would
Those
go
have been
to
invented.
Yeah, it had. James Naismith had not cut the bottom out of the peach basket yet, but it was, but we used to go to other schools in the district, elementary schools, and play them. And I'm like, where did this go?
Right.
Students need something like this back.
Well, I can tell you where it went.
Well,
money.
Yeah.
No funding anymore.
There is that. So when I took over PE and I started realizing some of the opportunities that were out there, like jump roping, like I did a basketball club last year, and found out that there's a free throw contest that happens locally and then regionally and then statewide, and then locally, statewide, and then regionally, and then nationwide. And the top shooters for 4th and 5th graders, the top shooters that win nationally will get their names engraved onto a plaque or a trophy that gets put into the Basketball Hall of Fame.
That's cool.
Cup stacking. We did a cup stacking club, and the kids love that, and being able to invite community members in. I haven't got to do it yet, but I thought how cool to be able to invite like the mayor or one of the high-ranking policemen or the chief of the fire department or just people like that, and have them come and compete against students in cup stacking.
Yeah, that would be fun.
So just things like that, because I realize that the whole basketball, soccer, baseball thing, there's outside clubs, police activities leagues clubs, other clubs that just do that sort of thing that can do it way better than we could.
Yeah.
So trying to find those things that schools might be able to do, like the jump roping and the cup stacking and stuff like that.
Yeah, we got this idea here. It's from my mom, but it's from my dad commenting off my mom's profile. But maybe you should challenge the principal for jump ropes. See who can do it. Who can do more. So, do you think you can get your principal to challenge you?
No, I don't think so.
Oh, man. We need to get her on here because I would love to have a conversation with her, not outside of jump roping, but it'd just be fun to talk with her.
Yeah.
Because at the time that, I was at your school, she was the academic coach.
Yeah.
And it'd be fun to have that chat now that I'm a technology integration coach, just to kind of see where things are going. For her making that transition, and then, what she saw as a coach and everything, but then what her thoughts are of, you contacting these students and doing these extracurriculars and all that stuff, which is fantastic. But I'd be curious to see how that's from the principal standpoint, how is that almost changing the culture of your school, kind of a thing.
And she's a wealth of knowledge for education too. As long as she's been doing it and all the different hats that she's worn throughout the years. Yeah.
Yeah. No, she has a good wealth of knowledge. And, I still remember us, I say us as like a collective us, sitting in the data room and, working on those data boards and things and getting that set up. And then, I got something in my eye here. Good grief. Getting that stuff set up, but then seeing where it's evolved and seeing other schools around your district trying to emulate and capsulate and mimic that.
Mhm.
And for me, I went to a different school after a couple of years and at your school, and we tried to do it, but it just wasn't the same. And then now at my current school, we are using data in a much, much different way where we're doing it all digitally. But you guys there are doing it more tactile, with physical cards. So, is that something that's still going on, or is that something that's kind of tapered off and now it's turning more digital? Where are you guys at with that?
No, it's not digital. It is still tactile. There, we have the whiteboards on wheels, and they get rolled out to the gym and on certain days, and groups of teachers, different grade levels will meet with different title specialists and things like that, and the tactile movement of the students is still very much there. We just, every year, those data boards kind of evolve to what makes more sense now, because they should never stay stagnant in the way we have them. There's always going to be something that we could do that makes them a little bit more effective than what they were.
Yeah, and one last question on those data boards, because when we were there, we set them up by grade level standards.
Mm-hmm.
So there was not a fifth grade student board. There was not a first grade student board, but there was first grade standards, second grade standards for both ELA and math.
Right.
Are you guys still doing it that way, or how's it set up now?
No, it's definitely not that way anymore. It is that we have what are the, now it's been, I don't sit in front of these nearly as often as they do, being PE, as the classroom teachers do. It's the a standard that, oh my gosh, I'm gonna have to answer that later, because I'm trying to picture what it is on there, and I can't quite remember what the wording is on there. But the testing that the teachers do, the what's it called? The testing?
Well, ISAT here in
No,
Idaho.
not the ISAT. No. The where they checks for understanding.
The CFAs.
The CFAs.
Yeah.
The CFAs are checking to make sure that the students are covering the standards that are on the board. Because when we started to drill down way too specific, that really wasn't showing much success or much movement for students at all. So we had to take a different look at it, where we weren't just focusing on a single aspect, a single concept in math or something like that, because it just wasn't doing what we needed it to do for students to progress in their learning.
So is it more like the boards are, third grade is working on RL 3.2, and that's on the board?
The teachers at the beginning of the year, they take a look at these standards, and they pick out, okay, what are those big deal standards that we really need to focus on? And that's kind of the umbrella, because then as you work on those big deal standards, those are going to trickle down into the other topics as well.
Right.
And that was one thing that I had heard. You've probably heard in education the saying, going a mile wide and an inch deep.
Yep.
So very quickly, when I started teaching third grade, I started realizing that if you go a mile deep, if you start to go deep, it starts to branch out into those things that you don't want to spend a whole bunch of time on, but they're still important. And if you're going deep into a specific learning target, it's going to branch out wide, and it's going to end up coming back around to those things where you'll be able to address them in much more of a natural sense than in just I'm going to single it out and teach it for a day or two, and then we're going to leave it alone.
So we're actually having this debate in, a few of us in my school right now. So are you suggesting that it is appropriate to go a mile wide and an inch deep, or are you saying no, we need to focus on an area, get a little bit, deeper than an inch, and then you're going to eventually go further with the standards?
So yeah, you go deeper. You go deeper with a standard, with a topic, whatever word you want to use. And for teachers, they're going to take a look at that depth, and they're going to go, okay, well, it's going to eventually reach this section of this standard, which isn't a big deal, but we definitely want to talk about it. It's going to naturally, if you're getting deep into informational writing, and you're getting in deep into how informational writing works, you're going to just naturally deal with sentence structure. You're going to naturally deal with spelling. You're going to naturally deal with vocabulary. You're going to naturally deal with handwriting. You're going to naturally deal with all these things. So going deep helps you to start to branch out and address those other things, including, and I can't think of things that would be much smaller topics, say commas or contractions or something like that, that it would help you to start to address those. And now you're addressing them in more of a context than in just a standalone 1 week, hey, this story is going to focus on contractions, and now we're done with contractions.
Right. So make them purposeful and integrate as much as possible, instead of just here's this, then this, then this, then this, and just expect that they're going to remember everything.
And teachers having the foresight of what they see coming, and maybe even doing some backward planning to be able to see where it's going, where it's going to end up, and start to go backwards into where you're going to start.
But maybe doing backwards planning would I don't know about you, but I'm very firm now, and it's taken me a few years to really get here, that we should always backwards design. Sure.
I think that's the absolute best way to do it. But when you do it, you can also, that allows you to start to see what the things that the students are going to need to get, that instead of like we said, planning a week of just doing it and then leaving it alone, you start to notice it. So now within your writing, you're always dealing with things that are important to writing, so that they will, to me, I don't know if they're addressing it in context, it makes a lot more sense to them than if they're just seeing it stand alone.
Right. And there is a lot of thoughts out there that you need to integrate as much as possible. For my school, we're a STEM focused school, and we try to push as hard as we can that, hey, we need to be focusing on these things that integrate as much as we possibly can within the subjects. But that's not discounting that there are some standards, some topics that you must teach in isolation, because otherwise it's not going to make sense. But also we want to make sure to integrate them as much as we possibly can throughout the other subjects.
I would love to hear an example of a subject that really just needs to be taught in isolation.
So take nouns.
Standard. Right.
Just straight up nouns, person, place, or thing. You have to, teach that in isolation as to what a noun really is. And, is that going to take a week? I would hope not, but it could. But, you have to teach it in isolation, how short or long that's going to be. But then you can start to integrate it in the other subjects.
Well, you definitely, if you're talking about nouns, you're also hopefully relying on that lower grades have been able to successfully get many students to understand what a noun is.
Well, yes.
But as you're now starting to use the writing, and you're now starting to say to someone, you don't have a noun in this sentence. There's this constant, that's that opportunity for this constant going back and reteaching what's a noun. Oh, that's what a noun is. Because the students who always have a noun in their sentence, well, they may not need to hear it, but the student who sometimes misses that, they need that retaught. So now you've got that ability to reteach right there, right then. It's not something that is planned out, that I'm going to reteach this thing called nouns, because out of 25 students, 15 may not need it at all. Right. So now I get to reteach right on the fly with that student right there about what a noun is in a 2 to 3 minute, hey, let's remind ourselves what that is. And then the next time they're writing, they may probably need it again, but being in context, it didn't stick with them before. So maybe being in context, it might help them stick with them then, and getting it more often, because if you're writing, you're not just writing once, you're writing over months and months. So we're going to keep doing that same thing over and over again.
Right. And that right there is, truly responding to data that you are going to have, but also responding to the learner as to what they need in any given moment, so that you as the teacher can address what needs they have. And, I sit there and, I think of nouns because, in all honesty, it's super simple, but I'm, old enough to know that it's a person, place, or a thing. And, me teaching 5th grade, when I tell them that it is the noun of a sentence, it's like, what? How is that the noun? I'm like, well, that's what you're talking about. You're talking about it. Therefore, that's the subject. That's the noun. It kind of blows their mind at times, but it's, it's getting to that place, and you got to know your kids. You got to build that rapport with them. And then the thought here is, have you asked your students how they learn best? And sometimes how a student learns best is gonna vary so much by every kid that you're unable to really determine that. But you also have to be able to gauge that the good majority of my students are going to learn this way, so I'm going to do it this way, and then I'm going to pull a small group for the ones that need to learn it a different way.
And you're also going to have, just talking about nouns again, you're going to have 3 or 4 or 5 different resources that are just going to be in the classroom as tools for a student to be able to go to, because we want those students being independent and going, okay, I don't quite understand this, or I've forgotten this. Okay, so go to that tool over there, sitting on that shelf, take a look at it. If you want to talk about it, bring it to me. We can talk about it, or talk about it with one of your classmates, and then get right back into your writing or whatever.
Right.
So those tools, and those tools can be thought of previously before school even starts, and you can make sure we've got the tool that the listener might work, the one who reads might work better for them, the tool where the kid who needs to actually physically do it, and to get them to understand the visual learner, those sorts of things.
Right. And especially now with, even though both of our schools were back, fully 100% with students, face-to-face learning, we can still utilize what we've been learning and using with the remote learning, the digital learning, within Teams. Like if we have a one pager that has, the information, like a cheat sheet or whatever, of nouns, verbs, subject, predicate, all that good stuff, we can post it in Teams, and then we can, tell the kids, like, hey, if you're stuck, here's the information. It's no different than having a poster on your wall.
Which circled us right back around to finding the treasure inside the chaos right there. Yeah. Yeah. You got some sort of quick, fun flash game or something like that plays with nouns. Hey, go pull that game up and play that game once or twice to remind yourself of what a noun is. And then come back to me, and let's get your writing going again.
Yeah, exactly. And, with that, as we wrap up here, I want to ask you, the listener, what are some of those treasures that you have found inside the chaos? Drop us a message on our Facebook page, send us a tweet. You can either do it at Teacher Dudes on Twitter, or, send it to myself at Keith67, because I would love to know the other treasures that other people have found. And I've seen some good information, some good hacks, and things here and there where they're things that people would not have thought of or really even dreamed about doing in their classroom, and then now it's almost becoming second nature. And when they come back face to face, it's like these things they forget, and they go back to quote unquote the way things that it was. And I kind of, if I'm going to find a treasure, I don't want to forget it. I don't want to use it and lose it. I want to keep doing it.
Mm-hmm.
So, it's interesting is, we look at, here in Idaho, we're recording this on March 12th, and tomorrow, March 13th, is the 1-year anniversary of the very first COVID case here in Idaho. It's crazy to think it's been a year. And I think back, I'm like, if in 1 year we made all these advances in education, why would we want to go backwards?
Yeah. I think for some people there's a certain comfort level that they'd rather stay in, but I think that there's plenty of opportunity for us to use what we've found and continue to go, okay, how could this even work out even better? What could I do with this that would make my classroom work even better? And that's just taking what happened and allowing it to be a positive instead of allowing it to be a negative.
Right. And that's the thing is, and I saw this for sure. And I saw this in my building where when we got back face to face, there were some things that we saw, and I totally understand it. I get it 100%, where we saw that, teachers went back to what they knew, what they were comfortable with. And it kind of felt, like a breath of fresh air or a sigh of relief off their back. But also at the same time, is that what's best for kids? I've heard stories across the country now where kids have been doing worksheet after worksheet after worksheet packet, and then they get back to in person and they're doing more worksheets. It's like, what are you doing? Or you have the kids that have been doing fantastic, and we talked about this a couple episodes ago, where the kids that were doing fantastic at the at home in the remote learning and the digital learning, and then suddenly they get back face to face and they can't access it anymore. So it's almost like we as teachers, we as coaches, we as whatever, we need to figure out what our students need now. And it might not be the same as what they needed a year ago.
Yeah, I don't know what to say to that.
But it's tough because every classroom's different, right?
Yeah, every classroom is different. Every kid's different. Every day tends to be different.
Yeah, and we just gotta. We as teachers, we need to be able to adapt. And that saying, read the room, understand what our students need, where they need to go, and figure that out so that we as teachers don't hold them back.
Yeah.
So, but with that in closing, I noticed you had something in your glass.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I had found a Jameson whiskey that was infused with cold brew, and I enjoy coffee, and so I bought that. But then my cousin bought the Jameson that was, I think it's set in a stout beer barrel, or something like that. And I have to say that one I like better than this coffee one. This coffee one's good, but I think that one was better.
And for me, I've been drinking some of my go-to, and I won't even say what it is because I'm sure you can guess what it is.
Irish Death.
Irish Death. You know it.
There you go. Is it the stout one?
Oh, yeah. Just going Old Faithful here.
Okay.
It is almost St. Patrick's Day. And I love me some Irish Death. The peanut butter Irish Death is out right now.
That's the one I got to try right there.
That one is good. And you know what? Now that we can, because I am fully vaccinated, I'm just going to throw that out there. Like, hey, look at me. I'm fully vaccinated. Maybe we'll get together in person. What do you say, Jeff?
I'm game.
And, every year at St. Patrick's Day, I get to have some Jameson whiskey 2 times a year.
You can bring your shovel over here and help me dig a couple of the post holes for your gazebo, for the porch cover. Yeah.
Yeah. But 2 times a year I get my Jameson whiskey. That's Christmas and St. Patrick's Day. So for me, I think I'm going to try. They have the Black Barrel Jameson.
Is that what I showed you?
No, you showed that was different. They have a stout edition.
Yeah.
And I'm looking it up right now, but they also have a Black Barrel edition.
And what is that?
The Black Barrel, as it says here, it says it is triple distilled, flame charred for a rich, smooth taste. Where in comparison, the stout edition, it says it is Irish whiskey, which is made in craft beer barrels. Yeah,
that was right. Yeah, that's remember reading.
So I might have to get a bottle of that, and we'll hang out. It'd be nice to see you in person again.
I've got those. Yeah. I'm tired of
this.
Yeah. I've got those ice cubes too that are round, that are meant for whiskey. So. Nice.
Yeah, we'll get something planned for sure. But Jeff, it has been fun as always, and want to appreciate you for coming on here, and appreciate those of you that have been listening, commenting along as we go. So shout out to Doug over in Florida, and then my parents up in Washington, for joining us. We really appreciate it. And Jeff, as we move forward, what is the one thing that you are looking forward to now that we are finally seeing the light at the end of this COVID tunnel?
Sunday morning at about 2 a.m. when I get to move the spring ahead, and I get to see it be 8:30, 9 o'clock, and it's still light outside.
Oh, so you're looking forward to sun? Oh man, are you going to stay up and watch that time change?
No.
Okay, good. I'm not either.
That's too late. I can't say that. Come on, I've been a night owl my whole life.
That's true.
I probably will, though.
For me, I am looking forward to never hearing the term new normal again. I am looking forward to never hearing the term pivot.
Pivot? Oh, come on. That's a Friends classic right there.
Well, yes, but don't want to hear it in terms of education. Oh. But new normal. If I hear social distance or any of this stuff, like, let's just move on and learn, and let's go to Disneyland. How about that, Jeff? Can we go to Disneyland?
I love Disneyland.
Me too. And it is a small world after all, right?
It is, actually.
It is. But
it is.
But all right, Jeff. Well, we are going to get going. Appreciate it. And we will talk to you next time.
Bye, everyone.
If you'd like to join us live and interact in future shows, or to be a guest on the show, be sure to follow Tyler Keefe on Twitter @Keefe67 and like the Teacher Dudes on Facebook. If you haven't already subscribed to the Teacher Dudes, hit that subscribe button on whichever platform you're listening to, and be sure to also leave us a rating.